Welcome to our mathematics lesson, and today we are going to look at decreasing and increasing percentages. Decreasing and increasing percentages. We need to understand that when dealing with money, mostly with money, the issue of increasing and decreasing percentage is very, very common. Like, you can always find that there is a discount allowed on the items you are buying, so they decrease the cost of the goods you are buying or the items you are buying by a certain percent. So they can say, for every purchase you are making, we shall decrease or we shall give you a discount of 20%. This simply means that out of the total cost you are supposed to pay, they'll calculate 20% of that total and reduce it. So money matters. We have a lot of increasing and decreasing percentages. When you look at goods that like machineries, these ones, they normally depreciate. So we can value we can value the cost of a vehicle and say every year this vehicle is depreciating by maybe 18%. That is a percentage decrease. And also, we have a situation where we increase the percentages. Like, you can choose to increase the cost of goods. If you talk about markup, the price has been increased by maybe 10%, or the cost at which a retailer sells the goods from the wholesaler, he usually increases that cost so that he makes profit, and his profit is increased by a certain percent. So what should we understand about issue of increasing and decreasing percentages? I want us to look at the following table and see the behavior of percentages. We have this table, original value. We have the percentage change and the new value. For example, if you have, it is in dollars, if you have $65.00, and then you are told to increase it is increased by 10%. What will be the new value? What will be the new value? The new value here is the total percentage is 110, and you'll simply take 10% of this, which you find it is 6.5, and then you add $6.5 to 65, and you'll get $71.50. So, in other words, we can always use a percentage to find the new value. Same way, we can also use the new value to find our original value, depending on how you'll handle the percentage that you have been given. So, I want you to take your calculators and check out the following table and see how you can be able to make the changes accordingly. So rearrange values to make each row correctly. Now, this is just an example that is it true when you take 10% of 65 and then you add them together, will you get 71%? We have seen 10% is the same as 10 over 100 multiplied by 65. This one will give us 6.5. And then you will take 65.00, add to 6.5. When you add this, you find it is $71.5. So it is true that the value here is equal to $71.5. Now, I want you to do the same in the following. So in most cases here, we require our calculator to be able to have the values correctly put. So we have 102, and this 102 is increased by 5%. Is increased by 5%. And then what we have there before we rearrange is $73.50. Is this because we want to make each row correct? Is this row or the information contained here correct? If it's not correct, what is the correct arrangement? We need to rearrange. So first, let us see. Are we increasing this? If we increase, how come we have a low value? So let us try to bring this one here and increase by 5% and see. Are we able to get 1 or 2%? So we are taking 5% of 73.5. So when you take 5% of 73, you find it is $3. When you add, it gives us 76. This one is 102. And for this 102, we are asking ourselves, what are we supposed to get when we simply reduce it, not increase it this time, but to do what? To reduce. This statement is not correct. That's what it's trying to tell us. It is not correct. So it is us to make sure that this is a true statement. And for us to make a true statement, look at the dollars you have and the instruction given here. Are we increasing or we are reducing? So in this case, we are increasing. If we are increasing, we cannot come below. We should go up. So we cannot have this 73, but instead we shall have the 5% plus 100%, which was 102. So the new value, when you do add together, it will be so if you calculate first 5 over 100 of 102, that is the first thing we need to know. What is the value of 5 over 100 of 102? If you do that, you find it is $5.1. Then take 5.1, add to 102. You get, it's supposed to be 107.1. So 102, it was our original value. It increased by 5%, and what the value that should be here is $107.1. Let us look for the one which we are decreasing. $58. And this one is decreased by 2%. So I'm not going to calculate that. You know how to go about it. 2 over 100 multiply that by 58. I want to calculate straight what I should do. Am I supposed to have here? It's supposed to be equivalent to 102%. So if we have to get, that is 100% plus 2%, that is 102%. So if you multiply that, you'll get $59.18. $59.18. So the difference gives us the amount of decrease. While the last new value is there, we are decreasing. Sorry, we are decreasing, we need to subtract. So if we have 58 is equivalent to 100%, therefore, if we are decreasing, we look for 98%. And when you look for 98%, you find it gives us $56.84. $56.84. Now, what exactly are we trying to look for here? We want to see this idea of increasing and decreasing percentages. How does it apply and how do we use it? So it is very important that the original value you are given is always taken to be our 100%. And the percentage increase or decrease will give us the results of the new value over there. So what are the common words that are used to represent decrease? Decrease, you'll always find common words that are used to represent decrease. Words like reduction, words like discount, right? Words like sell and loss. And depreciation. So not always shall we tell you that it decreased. You can still be told there was a depreciation. You can still be told there was a discount. All these words simply refer to a reduction or simply a decrease. We also have common words that are used to represent increase when we are looking at increasing and decreasing percentages. And these include markup and profit. Markup and profit. So this one represents what? An increase. Now, looking at decrease and increase, what can we conclude? In general, when you talk about decrease, then we say this. In each case here, the value, that is the new value, is equals to original value minus the decrease. When you are talking about percentage decrease, the value that you have, that's the new value, will be original value minus the decrease. And if we are talking about increase, then our value will be original value plus the increase. So this case tells us how we should treat percentage increase and percentage decrease when we are dealing with new and original values. Now, increasing and decreasing the value in most cases involves what we call the technique of percentage of a quantity. By what percent of this quantity are you increasing? By what percentage of this quantity are you decreasing? That's why we are saying increasing and decreasing percentage involves the techniques of quantity. That is the techniques of simply percentage of quantity. If we may look at an example, a 15% markup on $200. This involves finding 15% of the $200, which will be, in this case, $15% of $200 is equivalent to $30. Then, if we now want to find the new markup price on the new value, it will be taken to be 200, which is the original value, add the percentage increase, and we get the new value. That is $230. $230. So that's how we approach that. Now, maybe let us look at it from the retail terms. And retail terms, we are interested about the selling price. In most cases, when we talk about markup, we are talking about that price which this retailer is going to sell after buying maybe from the wholesaler. Definitely, he has to increase a certain percentage to be able to earn a profit. So, in retail terms, we say that selling price is equal to retail price This is very interesting. We've always known that when we are selling, you should always be making profit. But look at the situation here, that our selling price is taken to be our retail price less the discount. That is what we mean when we are talking about the selling price. But at the same time, selling price can also be taken to be retail price. It can also be taken to be now, this is about the retailer, now about the wholesale price. Plus markup. So this is simply a retailer who wants to make money. He'll take a wholesale price and add something on top which you call the markup to get our new value, which is our selling price. So you realize that in all the areas you have seen, percentage is applying. When you talk about discount, we are looking at the percentage. But the moment they mention discount, you should know they are looking for us to take the retail price and lower it by the discount amount. We shall go step by step. Find the new value when $160 is increased by 40%. $160 is increased by 40%. Now, this is the same as percentage of quantity, which implies you can write our statement and say we are looking for 40% of $160. And we said in our previous lesson that when you are looking percentage of quantity, first convert the percentage into a fraction. So I'll start by that. 40% is 40 over 100. Of will be replaced by multiplication. And then we have 160 there. Simplify where possible. So by 10 and 10, that one goes. And then we have by 10 and 10 there, we remain with 4 multiplied by 16. This one will give us an increase of $64. They have not asked you for the increase. They have asked you for the new value. New value is given by the original value plus the percentage increase. So, which will be our original value is 160 plus the increase, which is 64, to give us a total of $224. So note that we looked at the statement, we wrote it as a percentage of quantity, then we used the normal ordinary method of finding percentage of quantity, and then we said for us to arrive at the new value, we take the old value plus the increase which has led us to this point. Let us look at another one. Find the new value if $63 is decreased or reduced by 20%. So, in this particular case, we are decreasing. If this is the case, then we are looking for percentage decrease. Take note of that. Percentage decrease of quantity. And what percentage decrease? It is 20% of 63. Percentage decrease, 20% decrease of $63. So this one you find first what is 20% of 63, change percentage into fraction. Of is replaced by multiplication. Simplify the fraction. We are getting 63 over 5. And 63 over 5 is the same as $12.60. So this is the percentage decrease. What does the rule tell us about decrease? To get the new value, it's equals to original value minus the decrease, which is 63 minus $12.60, and this one will give us $50.40. It will give us $50.40. So this is about a decrease. So we want to come and start calculating the discounts or the markups. Find the cost of 860 television that has been discounted at 25%. So we are looking at the discount. What is our discount in this case? So we first start by looking at the discount. And the discount is what? 25% off 860. So this will be $25% of $860. So change it and get the discount. That is what we have by 25, 1 by 25, 4. By 4 here is 1. By 4 here is 2, 1, 5. So if this is what we are looking for, that 25% of 860 is $215. That is our discount. But the question here is, what is the cost? At what price will this customer buy the television at? So we say the selling price is equals to the retail price less the discount, which will give us $860 less $215. When you subtract that, you will get $645. So the cost of purchasing a television which is marked at 860 as its cost price or the retail price, having been given 25% discount, you'll walk with it upon payment of only $645. Find the cost of a $250 microwave oven that has been marked up by 12%. So the very first approach is for us to look for what we call the markup. Markup is 12% of what? Of $250. That is the approach. We convert and find the value of markup. So when you multiply that out, when you simplify it out, you'll find that this one will give us by 5 is 2, by 5 is 5, by 2, 1, by 2, 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So we have $30 as our markup. But we are looking at the cost when we mark up by 12%. So in this case, we say that our selling price is equals to the wholesale price, which is $250, plus our markup, which is what? $30. So this one will give us $280. So a microwave oven marked at 250, and we have marked up by 12%, then we will have to go walk away with it upon paying $280. So you notice that anytime you are talking about percentage, you should be very alert to know, are we talking about percentage increase or we are talking about percentage decrease. And then when the issue touches on money matters, then there is need for us to apply the idea of decimals, where we must round correct to 2 decimal places. Why? Because simply a dollar is simply made up of 100 cents, so it's always 2 decimal places. So you should be able to always apply that. Now, we want to look at those practical examples or application questions that we come across in our day-to-day life situation. Now, a shop, that is shop A, is advertising a watch for $350 with a discount of $80. So this time the discount is not given as a percentage, but they have just given the amount. Shop B is advertising the same watch for $400, but with a discount of 30%. Now, class, look here. Which shop would you buy from? Would you go to shop A, which advertised at $400 with a discount of $80, or you would go to shop B, which is advertising at $400 and a discount of 30%. This other one, this is advertising at $350 with a discount of $80. What is very important? Let us find the selling price for each shop and then we make our decision. So, with shop A first. Selling price is equals to what? Is equals to the price that we have, which is $350, minus the discount. We have already been told the figure directly, so minus $80. So this one, if you are very keen, you will get it's about $270. So if you happen to buy from shop A, you'll leave with the with that watch at the cost of $270. Let us go to shop B. For us to get the selling price, it is simply that cost minus the discount, but our discount has been given as a percentage. So let us first calculate our discount. Shop B gives a discount of 30%. of 400, 30% of 400, which is when you multiply that, you'll find that the total discount given by shop B is $120. So we have the discount of shop B, but we don't have the selling price. So for us to get the selling price, it will be given by 400 minus 120, and this one will give us $280. There we are. Where would you rush to? Where would you run to buy? Because this one has, Shop A has given us 80% discount from 350. We are remaining with 270. This other one, it is 280. Definitely, because it is the same watch, we shall always tend to save. If you buy from Shop A, you will save 10 shillings, unlike if you bought from Shop B. Therefore, the cost of selling the watch in each shop is given as it is. If you are to purchase, you'll go for the cheaper option. I want to introduce something, and this one is called commission. You might have met salesmen or sales ladies and wondered, how do they survive? How are they paid? Now, with this, we are going to get a solution to that. This commission is simply the amount that you are given, is a token kind of, for having sold a certain amount of goods. The higher the sales, the higher the commission. The lower the sales, the lower the commission. So I want you to look at this. Ben, a car salesman, is paid a 5% commission in 1 week. He's paid 5% commission, not in 1 week, but 5% commission. So in 1 week, Ben sold 3 cars for a total value of $42,000. So we are asking you, calculate his wage for that week. How much did Ben walk away with? Before we answer this question, if Ben was earning hourly rate, that one is a flat rate. Maybe he was earning maybe $200 per hour. So we'll start first by saying how many hours did he work so that he can earn $42,000. But the point is this, that he was not assigned any hourly rate. He was not on that. So it strictly depends on a commission. So he has to fight hard to make as much sales as possible. So for the week, he sold a total of $42,000. Then we would say that he will only receive the commission and nothing else. It would be commission is 5% of the total sales, which is $42,000. This one gives us $5 over 100 multiplied by $42,000, and the answer is in dollars. So by 100 will remain 420. So take 420 multiplied by 5. So this guy would walk away at the end of the week with $2,100. $2,100. Now, supposing he had an hourly rate, what would be the behavior of his earnings? And supposing he did sell any car and he's not on any earnings, any hourly earnings, would he earn anything? If Ben sells 0 cars from here, he will get 5% of 0, which is 0. So he will not earn. And that's why most companies bring in what we call hourly rates. You are assigned certain amount per hour. So, supposing Ben was assigned an hourly rate of not of 10%, this is a fixed amount, but of $10. You see? If he is assigned $10 per hour, then we would ask ourselves how many hours did he work, and then we multiply by the $10 and we do what? We add the commission. Look at the following. We want to assign Ben. If Ben worked for a total of 20 hours that week, if Ben worked for a total of 20 hours that week, and sold a total of $42,000. If Ben worked for a total of 20 hours at a rate of $10 per hour, then how much would he earn at the end of the week? So, calculate his earnings at the end of the week. This one will be taken as hourly rate added to the commission. Plus the commission. So how many hours did he work? It is 20 hours. How much does he earn per hour? It is a total of $10. Then plus, what is his commission? Commission is simply 5% of 42,000, which we have already calculated. Right? So you take this, you multiply, you find it is $200 plus what we have there, 2,100. So when you add together, you'll find he'll earn $2,300. So if Ben worked, he would take home $2,300. If Ben did not work at all, he will not walk away free. He will walk home with the number of hours he was going to stand as he waits for clients so that he can sell. He was standing there waiting to sell for 20 hours that week. We shall still pay him the $200. But if he happened to sell, then we shall have the hourly rate plus the commission. So supposing we change the commission. You see, we have 5%. Just in your discussion, if the commission increases, will the total earnings increase or decrease? And if the commission is reduced from 5 to 2, what will happen? It's very important that commission is directly related to the earnings. When it increases, definitely you'll also earn more, as long as the sales are constant. So I want to say that we can also apply the issue of percentage increase when we are talking about commission. Now you realize that about commission is there is nothing about new value or old value. Commission is what you are earning. The same commission is what can either be increased or decreased depending on the economy. So for those companies which are doing very well, they only don't pay commission, but they will go ahead and also pay hourly rate. The hourly rate was simply put because sometimes you can go to work and you find that you have been working, but you have not been able to sell. That is the time now when they always advise that let the employee be paid hourly rate, and then that one can subsidize in case he doesn't make any sales. So having talked about commission, calculate the following amounts. 2.5% commission on sales of $11,000. So we say that the amount is equals to 2.5% of 11,000, which is equivalent to so when you work out that, this, you'll find that 2.5% of 11,000 will be equivalent to $275. So it is just, commission is all about finding the amount. So for the second, we shall just apply the same. We are looking for this commission of 0.05% of 700,000. This is the same as we need to convert everything into fraction. Now that is what we have. We saw earlier on, if we want to remove the decimal points, we shall multiply by the number of decimal places up here. So we multiply here by 1, 2, that is 100 to give it 5. And down here it will be 100 times 100, and then multiply by 700,000 over 1. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. So by 100 it goes with 2 zeros. By 100 another 2 zeros. We have 70 multiplied by 5, and 70 multiplied by 5 is a commission of simply $350. $350. So to wind up, by this time you have been hearing of percentage increase, percentage decrease, discounts, profits, losses, commissions, but now you see all those are simply arrived at using commissions, using percentages. If you are to calculate commission, the commission does not actually add up to any value of goods, but instead commission is taken to be the earning for the person who is carrying out the activity of selling. So by all this, we come to the end of our lesson, and in our next class, we shall go ahead and start looking at when these goods the goods we are selling, what is its behavior? Do we have taxes that are normally taxed on these commodities. That is it for now. Thank you.